And then, what about Alfa Romeo? 5th and 7th, really performing well around here. Let's hope they've got some decent race pace.
Here we go, guys. Welcome to the F1 Hungarian Grand Prix reaction. And Lewis Hamilton is back on pole position after 595 days of waiting. Can he convert it into his first win since Jeddah 2021, exactly 595 days ago? We'll find out. Or Verstappen get 7 in a row and get closer to equal and probably beating Vettel's record of 9 in a row. Can George Russell do well from the back? I mean, yeah, I decided to wear this today. I didn't really know what to wear. So that's why I'm doing Seb again. Pretend he's back here for one. Yeah. Got the Lando cab ready. Let's go. It's 3 o'clock in Hungary and the formation lap's underway. So Max Verstappen starting on the dirty side of the grid. That could actually play into Hamilton's advantage and Norris. Russell and Perez starting on the hard tyre. Sainz, Stroll, Gasly, Tsunoda on the soft. Everyone else on mediums. The Alfa Romeo have done quite well this weekend so far. They're 5th and 7th. That's like the form of the third best team on the grid. Although I think the third best car right now is probably Mercedes or Ferrari. I think McLaren is second best. Brand new tyres for Lando. Yeah. And Russell's got loads of tyres because he got on in Q1, new qualifying format. Budapest was formed 150 years ago when the 3 cities of Pest, Buda and Abuda unified. Unified, I think as I say it. Yeah, it's check temperature 53 degrees down in Budapest in Hungary, so these tyres are going to be cooked. I said, let them cook. That's like a TikTok video. I've seen that a few times. Alonso when he did that after getting P3 in Melbourne. Keep an notifications too, because we get any. Remember, guys, if it goes boring, I'm playing the Switch again. Like, actually, I did that on my old channel, but it got banned. Same name. Come on. Weekend attendance, just over 303,000 weekend attendance at Hungaroring. Next week, guys, we've got the best track on my calendar, a Belgian Grand Prix. That track can build up a thriller, or it can be boring like last year, but obviously the 2021 race was a complete washout. I think McLaren will finish 5th this year, and if they keep up the performance they do, they may catch Ferrari or Aston Martin at the end of the year. Come on, Lewis. Come on, Lando. And come on, George. There's a few Orange fans and there's loads of British fans.
Yeah, because Toto Wolff knows that Mercedes should have had 2 cars in the top 4. And of course, George Russell starting down in 18. The problem George will have, as fast as he and his car can be together, he'll be at best part of a pit stop behind by the time they get around the first lap.
There's a slight tailwind down the main straight. That might not help overtaking under DRS. Keep an eye on the wind. You can see the flag.
Yeah, keep an eye on it.
Of your screen. And Max is a
Here we go.
further forward in his pit box, grid box than he normally is. See what happens then. It's lights out, away we go. Hamilton gets away brilliantly, as does Valtteri Bottas. Already past his teammate, so brand new. Hamilton and Verstappen racing then towards the first corner. Verstappen's on the inside. He's got the better line. They almost touch. Hanging back.
Verstappen leads.
Oscar Piastri goes down the inside, and Oscar Piastri goes in the second place. But there's 3 cars off at turn 1.
On the outside of turn 1, Piastri then.
Hamilton didn't get a good getaway.
Norris had the idea, he just didn't have the space to do anything with it, and our pole sitters down to P4.
Hamilton P4. Max leads again.
Verstappen leads to Oscar Piastri. Then comes Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton. Then comes Charles Leclerc, and after them, Fernando Alonso making up places too. We're on board with Lewis Hamilton now. Very disappointing start. The second stage, he got completely swallowed up by the Red Bull and the 2 McLarens.
Yeah, it seems as if Guan Yu Zhou has connected with an AlphaTauri down into the first.
They contact at the back as well. I think it's the Alpines and probably one of the Alphas.
The Carlos Sainz immediately up to 6th place.
Yeah, Joe had a really poor start. We saw his teammate getting past him, and then trouble for him. And so they filed through now. Sergio Perez running in 8th place, and I think the contact between Joe Guanyu was with Yuki Tsunoda as they took themselves out of the race, or certainly out of the contention of this race as we round the final.
There's 2 Alpines and Ricardo. Or was it not?
Verstappen leads by 0.7 of a second from Oscar Piastri, and then comes Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, Alonso.
Yeah, Joe went down.
And right out back, the 2 Alpines of Ocon and Gasly miles behind. And an awful lot of dust on that main straight.
There is Russell 13th.
Trying to swerve out to the whale. Watching there, the Alfa Romeo of Joe Guanyu going wheel to wheel with Kevin Magnussen, and into the pits comes Pierre Gasly already in this race. There's Alex Albon getting past Joe Guanyu. Nice little move from him, and he's up into 15th place, out in front, almost a second advantage now for Max Verstappen. So an early pit stop for Pierre Gasly. You can see why. Where's the rubber gone on his rear right wheel?
Is there any damage on the
rear wing is a bit wobbly.
Wheel nuts, or maybe this axle. Ted, what can you see?
It's all over. There's so much damage to the rear of his car. He's coming together. Who's he coming together with? It's not his teammate, is it? Well, we'll see. But they can't even get the right rear off. So much damage to that corner.
Double DNF for Alpine at Silverstone, and it's taken less than a lap for Pierre Gasly to be pretty much out of this race, if not totally out of this race.
I'd be surprised if Ferrari don't swap these 2 over very quickly. They're wasting Sainz's soft compound tyres there, and they should let him go.
Leclerc's 5th, Sainz 6th.
Later in the race.
Well, let's see down the straight, because this is the perfect opportunity for Ferrari to do a bit of a switcheroo. It doesn't look like Charles Leclerc is slowing down too much for his teammate Carlos Sainz. He's going to have to get the overtake done all by himself, and the gap just wasn't there going into turn 1. Now, on the next lap, he'll get DRS, but for the moment, he's going to have to do it all by himself, and for the moment, it looks like he's going to have to stay behind his teammates.
Yeah, they need to release him and get off down the road after Hamilton and Norris and co.
If Max crashes, that's going to be fine, another winner.
They can sort it out. They can swap it back around later on.
So, with a new fastest lap of the race for Max Verstappen, let's take a little look at the top of the field.
Piastri's second still.
Piastri, sensational start for Piastri.
I think this is going to be terminal, please.
And not a second double DNF in succession.
2 DNFs still, both for Alpine. 2 double DNFs.
What a waste. What a complete waste of a weekend for these poor Alpine guys. They've worked so hard all weekend. They're actually having a look at the rear wing of Ocon. Let's wait and see. We get the replays so we understand fully what has happened to Ocon and Gasly here.
So let's look at the race start again. Joe Guanyu with that poor getaway. And Lewis Hamilton too.
So Lewis sort of stayed ahead, but Verstappen got the inside line. It nearly touched, and that's where Piastri. But there it was, both Alpines running into each other.
Joe Guanyu hits
I think Ricardo.
Tsunoda then hit the 2 Alpines. That is absolutely catastrophic for the 2 Alpines, who had no chance whatsoever of avoiding that. And I think Daniel Ricciardo gets involved in this. We can have a little look. So there goes Joe Guanyu, hits Tsunoda. Oh, and that's the damage you can see from one of the Alpines there. And I think Ricciardo very much involved. We can ride on board with him now, Mark.
There we go, Ricciardo.
It's not that you can't blame the 2 Alpine drivers there. They're minding their own business, leaving space. It was Guanyu that was completely out of position after a poor start. There goes one Alpine down the outside. I don't know if they wouldn't have touched anyway, to be honest.
Yeah, it was rear wing on Gasly.
That was the skittles that we've so often seen in the first corner.
Yeah, Valtteri Bottas did it to not so great effect a couple of years ago. Gasly got on the dirt here. You can see why there's a lot of dust down the main straight.
It was like a replay 2021 nearly, with obviously when Bottas played bowling, and Ocon obviously won the race. I remember that nearly 2 years ago.
Well, we can't find out how it felt, Martin, but we can see what it looked like from Ocon's point of view.
Yeah, Gasly left enough space on the inside. It's not like he pinched the corner, but he did. Yeah, that was what. As Ocon got hit, he then had to counter steer, and it took him straight into the side of his teammate.
And that's where the rubber came off the right rear wheel of the Alpine. Second time this season, both Alpines are out.
There's Perez.
Contact remember back to Australia, they were running very much at the points they weren't today. This is Fernando Alonso under pressure from Sergio Perez here. Perez running the hard tyre, Alonso running the medium in this first stint. And out in front now, 1.8 seconds the gap between Verstappen and Piastri. Hamilton just catching a little bit. Lando Norris in third place. Charles Leclerc still ahead of his teammate Carlos Sainz. And behind Alonso and Perez, Hülkenberg is being caught by Lance Stroll as well within DRS range when they next get onto the straights.
Perez sitting very pretty there in 8th place on the hard compound tyre. That'll pay dividends for him. He's still only 9 seconds off the lead, with obviously the slowest tyre on the car, and he can run nice and long with that. He needs to clear the Aston Martin quickly.
He does.
Perez P8, Alonso.
About it. Fernando Alonso, former winner
If it's actually Ballfest again, I might stop it early.
His favourite track,
We'll see, yeah.
Formula One, never finished on the podium in 11 previous starts here. So the two Alpines are out. Ocon and Gasly, Ocon the winner in 2021, not making it past the first corner this weekend. Daniel Ricciardo on his return now running plumb last in this race behind Logan Sargent in the Williams. Zhou Guanyu starting fifth is down in 16th place. As along the straight we go with DRS, an extra 10-mile-an-hour advantage for Sergio Perez as he tries to get past Fernando Alonso, who's forcing it the long way round. Alonso just positioning his Aston Martin very nicely indeed to keep Perez at bay, and Perez has got DRS.
Here's Perez.
And once again, Alonso wants him to dance the long way round, and once again, Perez can't make that move. Now tries down the inside, and Alonso's got that covered as well. And we saw a couple of years ago, didn't we, Martin, just how stoutly Fernando Alonso can defend at this track. So
Yeah, Hamilton against Alonso in 2021.
Yeah, he's going to have to give up a bit on the way into turn one, is Sergio Perez. Jump back underneath and get that double dose of DRS down to turn two with better traction out of the first corner. I think he took so much speed in, he wasn't able to really come back underneath the Aston Martin.
What's going on at Ferrari? You mentioned the Sainz looked like he had a lot more pace than Charles Leclerc when he's out of DRS range. Currently, over a second behind his teammate. Ferrari having to swap them round, deciding to send it because Leclerc's got the track advantage, the position advantage. He should stay ahead.
That first corner shut affected a lot of drivers, and obviously the two Alpines out. Daniel Ricciardo gets caught up in a fourth back from 13th to 18th.
Bottas back to P12 already.
They went from 5th to 7th to 12th and 16th and swapped around for good measure. Russell up to 30.
Sergio Perez has a look down the inside, nothing doing on that particular movement. George Russell going along nicely, gaining 5 places and preparing for a long stint on these hard tyres. And Sergio Perez doesn't look to be any closer to Fernando Alonso this next time around at turn 2. So there's another lap of frustration coming his way, but it really is in turn 1 and turn 2 that the overtakes can happen in these early stages at least.
I think the Hülkenberg sticking around there between the two Aston Martins, because the Haas's tended, especially in his hands, to be super fast in qualifying, but fades quite quickly in the race because it burns his tyres out. But at the moment, Hülkenberg holding his ground, P9.
Key for this race today is that the track conditions are so much hotter than we've experienced at any other stage during the course of this weekend. The teams, certainly on the hard compound tyre, have no real data available to them as to how this tyre is going to cope. Both of the Mike Crack, the Aston Martin team boss, he said nobody has had a race run on the hard tyre. He said, so I'd like to tell you how it's going to be performing, but I'll be absolutely lying to you, so I won't. Anything can happen on them. And if the hard tyre isn't quite as
last year I remember really slow and Fry put the car on them.
Three-stop strategy very quickly indeed. We're on lap 8 with our race leader, who's now about 2 seconds, 2.3 seconds clear of Oscar Piastri. Lando Norris comes third, then Hamilton, Leclerc, Sainz, and still Alonso in 7th, and still Perez gaining in 8th. And this time
Here's Perez P7.
And manages it, but now Fernando Alonso will try and fight it back, but Perez has got DRS once again, and because there's only one detection point, if you can get the overtake done in the turn 1, you get an extra 10 mile an hour to pull away from the car you've just overtaken, all the way down the turn 2, and Perez can breathe a bit more easily.
I think Alonso decided that he didn't need to be part of that fight any longer, and he didn't really resist that too strongly.
Let's have a look at it once again. The gap was certainly there. And yes, you're right, Fernando, not really resisting that one too much. I'm not sure you should get, once you've done the overtake, I'm not sure you should get a second helping of DRS because it is an overtaking aid and you've already done the move.
Yeah, it's part and parcel, isn't it? If you don't get the overtake done, you do get a second help.
Yeah.
But as you say, one detection point, 2 DRS zones when the rear wing is up. It's worth 16 kilometres per hour here at top speed. And what's that? 10 miles per hour. So yeah, I hear what you say, but it's what goes around comes around.
Ted, let's head down to you. Before I do that, just to remind everyone, it did flash up on the screen. Joe Guan Yu's afternoon continues to get more visible. He's got a 5-second penalty for causing that collision.
Can't for Joe.
Yeah, unfortunate for Joe. No, actually no repeat of the points in Spain for him. Just that was absolutely crucial for Sergio Perez to make his strategy work. He needed to get past Alonso quickly, and he did. That's the Williams of Alex Albon I see coming into the pit lane off the medium tyre. There must be some issue because they'd hope to go more than 8 laps on a medium tyre, but I'll follow that up. Alonso, though, playing the long game on his medium tyre, I think. His fight is with Hulkenberg and Stroll behind. Got to tell you, George Russell's tyres are running pretty hot, Crofty, and Lewis Hamilton's been warned of a front brake that's getting a little bit overheated as well.
Hamilton running quite closely behind Lando Norris in the early stages. Got back now to
Don't know what's going to happen in this race. So far, it's not been great. Max still leads.
The race that Red Bull needs to win to have the outright record for the most consecutive race wins in Formula One has a healthy lead. And McLaren, the team that could lose that record that they've held since 1988, currently running second and third. Although I wouldn't imagine they'll be too disappointed should they lose that record, Martin, because a double podium for McLaren today is exactly what they were dreaming of last night.
And Piastri, once again, old head on young shoulders, is how I describe that. He's very much keeping
If you guys dive in.
on the pace.
That's Tsunoda. Tsunoda and Bottas. And Stroll.
3 cars straight into the pit, reacting to each other. Then you're better to stay a second and a half or so behind so that you're not getting too much hot air coming through your radiators.
Yeah, this is Lance Stroll, Yuki Tsunoda and Valtteri Bottas. Soft tyres for Stroll's Aston Martin. A hard tyre goes on, which is no great surprise. He made places up to the fringe of the points. Decent stop, 2.6 seconds. Station.
So Tsunoda, the slow one.
7.3 seconds. Not sure what the problem was there. And Valtteri Bottas will come out ahead.
Give it all reacted to Albon.
Just ahead of the Williams of Alex Albon. So maybe they were also reacting, certainly in Bottas's case, to that early pit stop by Williams, trying to stop the undercut that Alex Albon was trying to put on Valtteri Bottas.
And because they're watching each other closely, they know their main race is to try to get 8, 9, 10, steal a world championship point or two, and that's why they react to each other, even if it's counterproductive against, say, the leaders, for example. It doesn't matter. It's they know who their real race is.
As good as that start was,
Verstappen quickest again.
switching strategy, not switching position, as in with Charles Leclerc. They're going to do that, and they've done that 3 laps ago, surely.
And knows a bit about these steering wheels. What do you reckon, Anthony?
Anthony Davidson, Sky Racing Control.
Yeah, so just a little bit of information on the Ferrari drivers there. Leclerc was told
One at front left.
to
Tsunoda.
extend his braking a little bit into turn 1. It seemed that Sainz was gaining some time on him there, and since that message he has sort of gone out, so that probably, it makes sense that he's managed now to pull away over his teammate. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton told his team that I don't really have the pace to overtake the 2 McLarens at the moment. But he's within the fight, isn't he? He's got the speed to stay with them, just not enough speed to actually mount an attack.
He's going to need a bit of time, actually, and see what juice he's got left in those tyres when others pit ahead of him.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, really. If you don't think you can cruise up and overtake, don't slide around in there turbulent and burn your tyres out. Don't overheat your car and all the mini elements on your car that need cooling, like the batteries, like the brakes, the oil, the water, the electronic units, as it were. So that you better just ease off a little bit and then regroup and come stronger later on.
Second place currently for Oscar Piastri, running higher than he's ever done in a Formula One race. And we saw
Can Piastri do something, Doug?
running third in the early stages there. He did exactly Verstappen running that high up. You're not going to accuse him of getting in those buildings that high up in the order. It's very calm. When we saw him earlier today as well, Martin, and the man racing here for the first time since 2020. He's never raced here in F2. But he just looks so at ease, doesn't he, in the position he finds himself.
And of course, he's a rookie in Formula 1 and didn't race anything last year. Whilst waiting, having won the F2, whilst waiting for Formula 1 seat.
Bottas, fastest lap. I was probably guess Bottas did that.
Somehow they got that wrong, and he's ended up doing a fine job for McLaren.
The fastest lap of the race goes to Valtteri Bottas. You remember he's just pitted and has gone on to the hard compound tyre.
Verstappen keeps extending his lead by 4.5 seconds each 12 laps. He's going to be winning by over 20 seconds. That's my calculations.
The sad fact about the Joe Guan Yu collision and the fact that Valtteri Bottas got caught up in it is that Alfa Romeo aren't getting the chance to show their face at the sharp end of the grid. And the car this week has really reacted well to this particular circuit.
Yes, it's just suited, and then so many corners here are similar. And if the car's working in one corner, it would be working very well in actually 7 or 8 corners, but not so much for Carlos Sainz at the moment on those soft tyres. They're now beginning to hurt and appearing ever larger in his mirrors. Is Sergio Perez's Red Bull.
So we head on then to lap 13 of 70 here at the Hungarian ring. 18 are still running. Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly, the 2 drivers.
Bottas 10th in the Merc. Hamilton's still 4th.
At the first corner, that crash ended. Pierre Gasly's 22 consecutive classified finishing run. And it's, well, 2 cars that didn't see the checkered flag in Austria, 2 cars that didn't finish in Silverstone either. And double DNF here. They've slipped down to 6th place in the championship of Alpine. They do have a healthy gap to themselves and Williams currently in 7th, but better times to come, I'm sure, for the Enstone team.
Looking for maximum pace to target that. Maximum pace for target that.
Guan Yu goes fastest on fresh set.
So Guan Yu now quickest. He did set the fastest up in Bahrain. He did. That was his second in the Formula 1 to go with the one in Suzuka last year.
That message to Oscar Piastri, Tom Stallo, race engineer, is that they don't need to be managing the pace quite so much now. Tyres are fine. Go and attack, Oscar.
Yeah, that's sort of McLaren's equivalent of hammer time, isn't it?
It's performance worthy of an Oscar, but that's just too long for a radio message. Ted.
Very good. I like that. No action, no movement from any of the mechanics at McLaren. So I'm loving this developing fight between Hamilton and the 2 McLarens. If Hamilton wants to switch, or was on a 3-stop anyway, the next lap or 2, I think we might see his pit window open and him come into the pits. Coming into the pits is Logan Sargent, following his teammate Alex Albon a few laps later, been complaining as tyres are starting to go off. But 3 stops around now, 2 stops around lap 17.
Thank you very much, Ted. Logan Sargent, the second Williams to pit in this race.
Bit slow, 4.5. It's back up behind Joe in last place.
Joe Guan Yu fitted a couple of
Other remaining cars.
On that Williams.
It couldn't work that better for Verstappen. Good start, keeps the inside line, makes the move into turn 1, and then Lewis Hamilton finds himself 2 McLarens behind the Red Bull as well. So I think that's given Red Bull and Verstappen a lot of freedom this afternoon on their strategy.
That was the slow stop. 4.5 seconds, slow stop. Of course, it's a slow stop. It's still 4.5 seconds.
With Verstappen.
He's not going to take or equal the record for consecutive wins from pole position, but he didn't start on pole. But he's looking very handy indeed for a 7th win on the bounce here. And it's all the talk that 3rd or odd-numbered side of the grid was the one to be on at the start. They started 2nd, 4th, and very much had a better start of it today. Sergio Perez having cleared Fernando Alonso is now right on the back of Carlos Sainz.
If I 6 seconds going to pass me, I will go box, but not yet. Understood. Good call.
So just stand
Yeah, it's a good call, I think, by Sainz.
the end of this particular lap.
Lap 15.
Carlos Sainz coming in.
Yeah,
Looks like a formality at this point with Verstappen leading.
Made a decision he thinks he's going to get taken, but what he wants to do is get further into the race. A 70-lap race And we're only on lap 15 before he puts on another set of tyres to chew up.
I'm told by Anthony Davis, who's got the team radio on a Ferrari currently, that they've delved into the filing cabinet of strategy down at Ferrari, and it's plan B they're going to with Charles Leclerc.
So can we assume that the Sierra S was a setting, a power setting, they wanted to back off to he didn't want to do?
Carlos Sainz is coming in then. While he comes in for a pit stop, let's go to Christian Horner on the Red Bull pit.
Sainz in.
Sergio doesn't need to do any overtaking here. Carlos Sainz is pitting instead, and your man out in front is 7 seconds clear. Tim said you were looking nervous, Christian, at the start of this race. Have the nerves dissipated somewhat now?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great start by Max to get into the first corner first. It was obviously pretty tight, but a great start from him, and obviously Checo's making good headway as well.
Was there actually contact, do you know, between Max and Lewis down in T1?
If it was incredibly light. We haven't seen any damage on the car, and I think you see the compromise we went for quality yesterday at the moment is giving him a good race car for today. So still a long way to go, and hopefully Checo can make a bit more progress as well.
So with a 7-second advantage, you know, you can afford to, you've got 2 more laps before you have to react to whatever McLaren might choose to do.
It gives you more options, but obviously the key thing is to keep building that gap to give you the ability to respond to whatever goes on.
Missed team from Hamilton.
We focus on Checo's race at the moment, looking at the quickest way to get him ahead of the cars ahead as well.
A curious little readout on the tyres, Christian. It's Sergio's doing a lot of good work for you in terms of excellent data as to what the hard tyre can produce. Is it giving you what you need, or are the conditions a bit too hot for a stint length that would be
Hamilton's in.
acceptable?
Well, it's still relatively early days at the moment, but both drivers are doing a great job with their tyres, managing slip and temps and so on. So it's a discipline to do that. You can see they're all starting to box now, and that's marginal free stop now.
I think you could be right. Cheers, Christian. We'll speak to you in a little while.
Hard tyres.
Alonso goes through. They haven't pitted yet. George Russell goes through. Hockenberg is coming into the pits.
2.8. Hockenberg in.
The pits should come out onto the track ahead of Daniel Ricciardo on the track, and ahead, crucially for him, of Carlos Sainz, who'd already boxed. There is Daniel Ricciardo, who's running down in 10th place currently, or 9th place, I should say. Hamilton just ahead of him, and I think it was very important that 2.8 seconds did become a 3 seconds stationary stop, because Hamilton will be behind the Alpha Tauri.
Indeed.
Yeah, good stuff from Mercedes.
Recovery time must be so tempting to take all the extra grip.
Verstappen looks like he's going to win unless he makes a big mistake, like spins the car around, or he hits a barrier or loses his front wing. If you lose your front wing, you could lose like 10 seconds in a pit stop, and mostly more due to the different losing time on track. Leclerc reacted with Norris.
So they had a cushion. Lando built himself a cushion of a couple of seconds over Lewis Hamilton. This will turn out to be absolutely crucial, but it needs to be a perfect stop. So Lando just comes down. All the mechanics, you can see him. It's easily recognisable with the yellow helmet and the orange car. They get to work. It's steady. It's good. It's good. It's not the best I've ever seen, but that's perfectly good.
Good stop from McLaren 2.3. 5 times quicker than Hamilton's stop.
Hamilton's just coming around the side of the corner, and it's a slow stop for Charles Leclerc. Had to reach for the spare wheel gun, didn't they? And that's
so stop for Leclerc, 9.4.
9.4 seconds stationary. As into turn 1, Lando Norris goes onto the racetrack now, and he is just ahead of the Mercedes of George Russell. Leclerc comes out onto the track. That's the Alfa Romeo of Valtteri Bottas, who was slotted just behind
Piastri being
him.
told to
They're
pit.
going to have to start again with the pit stops down at McLaren, because Oscar Piastri is coming in next time, and then Charles Leclerc battling away here with Valtteri Bottas.
Bottas battling Leclerc.
That slow stop has put him into a part of the track that the Ferrari strategists were not expecting.
Indeed, come on Ferrari, these are the fundamentals, these are the basics. Your car's not tip-top at the moment, but you can't afford to make
Well, particularly it got to be 9.5 seconds out of 24, not up 18. I think Piastri pushed his tires a bit too much at the start.
In 11th place, where really he should be running round about 7th after making that pit stop.
Piastri's in.
For track limits there
Yeah.
in turn 5 as well. As have quite a few drivers, but nobody twice yet this race.
So Lando Norris came in before Oscar Piastri, and Oscar Piastri stops now. Will the undercut work for Lando
Good stop from
Norris?
McLaren, that is brilliant.
Because Norris has just
Again, what's the time? It must be sub 2 seconds because we haven't seen it yet. 2 seconds.
2 second stop from McLaren. Absolutely brilliant. Here comes Lando Norris. Piastri's on the inside. Norris at full speed. The two McLarens getting very, very close. And Lando Norris gets the jump on his teammate with the
Norris into virtual second.
Norris is now up and the lead McLaren after in the early stages of this race. Piastri taking that second place.
Piastri and his team and his manager Mark Webber will be concerned about that. But he was running from McLaren and got second pit stop. So the undercut there.
Ricardo, 2.5 for him.
Maybe that's what McLaren wanted.
I mean, it was a 2.3 second stop for Norris. It was a 2 second stop for Piastri. So I would take credit and say it was good but not great with McLaren. But yet still, that 2 seconds wasn't enough.
And because on the outlap, Lando had so much more grip and very good use.
I mean, what do they do then? Next time they pit Martin, do they pit Oscar first and give him the chance of the undercut to get that place back? Because it does seem a little unfair that the preferential strategy at this moment went to the driver that was behind the lead driver.
Teammate for Hamilton.
Now they got 9 seconds all of a sudden. That's a crazy amount.
He needs the McLarens, doesn't he?
Norris fastest lap from him. So those hard tyres are working well. 123.543.
Lando Norris setting fastest laps and fastest laps. I'm told Oscar Piastri just sat very quiet in the car, not complaining about what happened at all. We are heading down the main straight here with Charles Leclerc, who's got Lance.
Or down the inside of Leclerc.
For one moment, thought that the gap might just be there.
Yeah, but make himself closer towards going to turn 2 here. What's he going to do? Inside? Yeah, inside. You rarely see him move at the inside there. But Leclerc makes it work. That'll be Leclerc in P9 for now.
Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez, Fernando Alonso, who's running in third, and George Russell, who's running in sixth. Ted, now to you.
Yeah, I'm looking over to the McLaren pit wall. The team boss Andrea Stella's talking to the strategist, Randy Singh, down there on the pit wall there. Crofty, I'm just thinking, the discussion must be that it was 2 things, wasn't it? It was an amazing outlap from Lando Norris that got him the undercut, fastest lap of the race so far, and it was the fact they had to cover Lewis Hamilton. So maybe they'll be discussing what they do in the next stint, but well, maybe they won't. But Lando kind of made it a lot for himself with that outlap.
It's around about 3.5 seconds between Piastri and Hamilton, though. They had plenty of time in hand on that. As Alonso now comes into the pits. And, well, can he get out?
Alonso in faster than Martin.
Super job managing those medium compound tyres.
Alright, so alright start from them. It's 3.4 though. Not as quick as I thought.
The winner here at the Hungarian ring makes his way onto the track. A little bit slow, wasn't it, for Fernando Alonso? And he comes out behind Lance Stroll, behind Valtteri Bottas too. Bottas's early stop has put him back into the top 10 here, but he's going to suffer for that later on in this race potentially. He might do a 3-stop or others around him doing it too. So Alonso third comes back out in 11th place.
What would you want me to do here?
For the moment, look after the tyre, priority target lap. We want to get to plan A target lap,
Which will be a 2-stopper. And we don't want him to come in before that. So basically, he has to be saying that I'm going to go up to him and I'm going to try and am I racing? And basically, so it's the lap time that matters now, not the track position.
He's about half a second a lap slower than his teammate Lando Norris.
Norris doing well.
Is Oscar Piastri, who seems to be doing
They're not closing up on Perez.
as well.
But Norris just did set a fastest lap at 123.499.
I think there's no doubt about it. As we said at the beginning of the race, if you're not about to overtake somebody, drop back a bit. There's no point in following half-second line. You gain nothing, and your car and your tyres are hurting. So I think we've got the opposite going on between the two McLaren drivers now. Anthony and Sky Race Control.
Yeah, so the precursor to that message of Piastri was he was asking about Lewis Hamilton. It wasn't so much he was asking about how he's going to fight his teammate in front. And he was told, yeah, look, Lewis is on the hard tyre as well. It's not performing brilliant for him at the moment. So just look after them. We're in the same race here.
Alonso had a Bottas.
Right now.
Lewis with a 1.5 1:24.4 on the previous lap. Oscar with a 1:23.9 and Lando Norris with a 1:23.4. And you just saw Fernando Alonso get past Valtteri Bottas with the benefit of much fresher tyres and DRS2. Bottas was fighting this particular battle with one wheel time behind the back.
Hamilton is catching Russell pretty rapidly with the fresher tyres at the moment. An interesting situation, unless Russell is imminently hitting.
Yeah, it is Alonso's move again. He did a Verstappen when Verstappen overtook Leclerc last year.
Makes his way up to 10th spot. Two McLarens blasting their way down the straight on a sunny day in Budapest. Currently running third and fourth. With Sergio Perez pits.
Verstappen's been told to pit at the end of this lap.
They'll move past him. But Max Verstappen is the first of the Red Bull drivers.
Bit of a mistake there.
Such is his healthy advantage. Unless Red Bull do it at half pace this pit stop, Max Verstappen will pick and get out in front.
But they've got to do it now because the two McLarens are in the 1:23, starting to all eat into Verstappen's lead, near to lead. So now's the time to do the pit stop.
Verstappen has led this race from start to finish. If he continues to do that, it will be for the 11th time in his career, tying Jackie Stewart and Michael Schumacher on the all-time list. He is heading into the pit lane, taking that inside line. Ted Kravitz, you'll see him in a moment.
Yeah, we're listening to you, Martin. Absolutely right. Yeah, they come into the leisurely as you like. And I know it's tired, chap, but you've got to say that we're not seeing the sort of horrendous tyre degradation that many feared. That's a very, very solid lap from the a solid stop.
2.3
mechanics onto the hard tyre, but Max made that medium tyre last 23 laps, and that's good information for later on. He should clear Sergio Perez second on the road quite easily with that. Well done, Red Bull.
Yeah, you can't actually see Sergio Perez in the picture. Oh, there he is, just popping into it now as Max Verstappen heads back out onto the track. So two Red Bulls from two McLarens, from two Mercedes, from two Ferrari, from two Aston Martins. It's the Noah's Ark, isn't it? 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2.
So Lance is 2.4 ahead. He'll let us pass once we get to us.
They run a completely different strategy, Lance having started on the soft side.
Indeed. Yeah, Sergio Perez is hard to sink a little bit because you'll see the other Red Bull ahead of him, but he's now a pit stop behind, effectively. Well, in reality.
Yeah, having started, of course, ninth of this race on the hard tyre to start, so he'll hopefully claw back some of that. He'll hopefully claw back some of that when he goes onto the medium tyres, or even the soft towards the end of this race. And we are on lap 24 out of 17. It's that familiar feeling of Red Bull, Max Verstappen out in front with his teammate Sergio Perez running second. Happened as recently as Austria in 3 laps when Red Bull were running first and second. This man, George Russell, is quite an interesting character towards the latter stages of this race. Whether he can reach top 7 potentially after a decent stint this with George Russell on those hard tyres.
Yeah, that traffic in qualifying wrecked Russell's weekend. Wrecked his qualifying, wrecked his race.
Perez in.
Sergio Perez only qualified 9th, at least he was in Q3 for the first time since
Bit slow.
he took pole.
2.8.
And he pits as the two McLarens move back up into the podium places. The two Mercedes move past Sergio Perez down the straight. The two Ferraris should do that as well. One of them at least, actually. So Perez slots in ahead of Charles Leclerc, and that 9.4 second stop at his first pit stop becomes ever more of a pain in the backside for Charles Leclerc, because he has now been overtaken by Sergio Perez on the road here. Perez in 7th place on the medium tyre, so watch out Carlos Sainz and George Russell.
Where am I losing on time? This is not slow.
So a lot of it is straight line, then turn 11 and turn 14.
Turn an engine down.
So negative, we are doing things to improve the temp situation.
What can they do then to improve the temperature situation on the engine? Take your foot off this one.
Yeah, you can lift and coast a little bit. The aerodynamics slow the car, let the drag slow the car down. And you'll see people over the top there.
That was what's the Hamilton through.
Obviously, they're on different strategies.
Okay, so we could let Lewis through this one.
I mean, you're not allowed to make changes to the engine for qualifying the race, but a proviso in the regulations that you can make alterations should you need to for reliability issues.
Yeah, you can turn the power down. And we hear them talking about the strats on their engine modes. So, yeah, he's basically, you're going to restrict my power usage. A very frustrated Lewis Hamilton from pole, now 19 seconds off the lead, and falling away from the McLarens by 11 seconds at this stage, and feeling obviously quite helpless in the car.
And it must be a horrible feeling, especially after the jubilation and the euphoria of taking pole position yesterday. He's come back to the track. His car is a completely different animal on this Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, Mercedes has been quite good in race trim, hasn't it? But that was a Lewis lap yesterday. I mean, that was a under pressure, right time.
Yeah.
Hooked it all up. As I said on the grid walk, it wasn't the fastest in any sector, and in the middle sector, he wasn't even in the top three. It just put it together at the right moment when the track was good. Made a mistake, didn't get a track limit. So I think that was Lewis outperforming the car yesterday, and that's becoming quite clear today.
Max Verstappen just crossed the line with a 1:23.7. Lando Norris has matched that to about 2/100ths of a second, and Oscar Piastri about 500ths of a second slower. There's a bit of time management going on in the top three. With them all doing very similar lap times.
Bit wide with the signs there. He's got DRS and Perez.
Crosses the line in fourth. And here we go. Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz down the main straight. Perez is on the inside here. This is going to be a bit different tuck, isn't it? Oh, he gets his elbows out, Sergio Perez.
Perez did.
Just to give a slight nudge, I think, towards Carlos Sainz mid-corner there and take the place from the Ferrari driver.
And having started on hard compound tyres, of course, he's now gone on to the mediums where the car's in front of him and the car behind him. And he's even feeling the need to clean the tyres where they were squabbling through turns 1 and 2, heading up to turn 4. And that's what the weaving. It can't be for temperature, it must be for cleaning. But I think what happened there is Sainz got a little bit tucked up behind Russell, who's out of sync, hasn't pitted yet. And that left him vulnerable to Perez.
This race is pretty much formality, so I'm going to try and see if I can play some Mario Kart. Get some better racing out. Or Mario Odyssey, hang on. Yeah. Mario Kart is.
Yeah, Carlos she'd have gone hard right a little bit earlier, but easy to say when you've got an overhead or a different camera view, because the cars are over 5 meters long. And if you slam across the track, you've got to be careful. But he probably needed to pitch that one a little bit earlier. Now Leclerc is catching Carlos Sainz while he's been busy fighting a rear guard action against Perez.
So you've got the Mercedes of George Russell ahead of Sergio Perez. But how much longer Perez has got DRS now, and he's looking to try and dive down the inside.
There's Perez on Russell, Perez P5.
Russell is still there. Perez has got much fresher tyres. Oh, and Russell really hangs that out for a lot longer than I thought.
Still got to watch a race in between, though. You just check the battery of this thing.
But George Russell's been running these tyres.
I was about to say, don't tell me it's dead.
Start of this race just didn't have the traction.
Oh,
you.
It's dead.
Perez in very aggressive mode, trying to put right what's happening.
Yeah, it's dead. I want to charge it.
Especially in qualifying. We've seen some very feisty moves here from Sergio Perez. He's on a mission.
Oh, yeah. There's a way.
Well, it's a lot more of this.
There's exactly the way.
Inside, nicely. George Russell hung it out as long as he possibly could. Sergio gave it space. And I'd like to see this from the onboard of George Russell as well, actually. He's,
yeah, I found a way.
All the way around the outside. There, it got perilously close.
Yeah, I mean, if George didn't back out of that,
Didn't mean to do that.
On his head.
We've been the second time today as George Russell is finally allowed to pit.
30 seconds charge it. Give me a sec, guys.
Car going up in the air. Not bad. A couple of moments, actually. But as George Russell pits, Carlos Sainz Stroll and Alonso are quite close as well. We're expecting a switch there in a few moments because Alonso on a different strategy.
There we go. Now I can charge and play.
Bounce with Alex Albon in the Williams. There goes Alex Albon now, and behind him, Yuki Tsunoda.
I'll leave that to charge while I just do this.
Just ahead.
Russell out in 14th place.
Out of the pits there, in 14th, so he's theoretically.
There's not 3 gets a big battery, he does. I blame what I'm waiting.
That much longer with a hard tyre, but now he can do what Sergio Perez is doing and work his way up to the field on 7 mediums. And a new 7 mediums too for George Russell, who has lots and lots of tyres at his disposal today.
And can he make a one stop?
That's going to go some 40 laps on the bit.
Yeah, he's asking a lot. Does he need to? But he'll certainly should.
Boring race, so
He certainly should
let's go improvise.
dispatch those few cars ahead of him in quick order.
So 18 cars,
Special Bowl one.
2 Alpines both out at turn 1, Gasly and Ocon coming together after Joe Guanyu triggered that collision. He picked up a 5-second penalty as was trouble said to Joe Guanyu. That's Fernando Alonso with Lance Stroll, his teammate. Just to let you know, the rest of that Ocon's seat broke in 2 as a result of the impact. You saw the back end of the car rising up and then hitting back down on the ground.
Get that green square coins.
To get his back looked at and to be examined. We're looking at views of that as and when we get it. We hope that Esteban was absolutely A-OK and fine. And just a little bit shook up, but nothing more serious after that particular accident. George Russell makes his way past Nico Hülkenberg and they head out. He's back up in the 13th place as Daniel Ricciardo gets for a second time in this race. Well, I'm looking at that Ricardo stop. He's only done 11 laps on his hard set tires. So that's weird. So he was closing Logan Sargent down
There we go.
quite nicely. But that's a bit odd. I will go and investigate this.
I've done the Gumbas.
Just pit him and then get him back out between there and stop him. I just wondered that behind the rear wing. Maybe he just seemed to have no pace really. He was between a second and half a second behind Logan Sargent.
Just better than it.
He's gone fishing.
There is fishing. Oh, don't poise this mushroom. No. Go away.
So I think it's just that the AlphaTauri wasn't working with Ricardo on the hard tire.
It's following me everywhere.
The medium one might see a bit more pace for Daniel Ricciardo. You know, he did the job with him in qualifying. He's not going to score a point.
There we go.
Might do if we can get closer to Alex Albon. I'm going to say Sergio Perez really is starting to reel in Lewis Hamilton quite steadily now. It was a second
There we go.
last time he took out of Hamilton. Now he's taken half a second out the last one. The gap's now 4.4 seconds for Perez.
Here's Russell on Tsunoda. Russell in a 12th place.
Russell makes another move. This time it's on Yuki Tsunoda. Perez is now just over 4 seconds behind Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton trying to gain a bit on the Piastri too. I know there's about 8.5 seconds gap, but the lap times are quite in Lewis Hamilton's favour. I think Austin's been on the radio last to say
And this fight been on since lap 16, where
Yeah.
Russell beginning to forge back through the field as we expected. And I think this is also becoming a statement drive from Sergio Perez as to where he's still.
Bring on Bowser.
He's driving beautifully and.
Oh, Luigi.
a lot of British fans here at the racetrack this weekend, and we've been talking to them all weekend. And quite a few of them have got the golden seats down by turn 1.
Initial thoughts on this compound?
It's a funny question sometimes. The time is definitely a different stick. It's easier to get forward and whatever.
Understood.
And these are brand new construction tyres. They have been stiffened up a bit, so there's no increase in the loading. There's continued affordable downforce on the cars. We've been running the new construction since Silverstone last time out.
Yeah, it was the hard compound in the medium last August. So everything's a step softer in the compound around the surface. It's the construction of the tyre.
Start. No, give me.
Out of the pits comes Alex Albon. They were in response to AlphaTauri stopping Daniel Ricciardo. Decided that they were able to get change tyres on Albon. It's the second time he's been in the pits too. Two drivers being not warned, but having lap times deleted because of exceeding track limits. I haven't seen anyone get
5 hours up.
2 or 3 yet, but the Aston Martin, Sargent, Stroll, Perez and Norris all exceeding track limits.
I think Norris is on 2 now.
Region coming.
Yeah, at the top of the screen there. So yes, I think Lando's on 2.
What?
indiscretions. After
Come
three,
on.
you get a warning, after 4 you get a penalty.
Swear I jumped.
4 laps time, Sergio Perez should arrive on the scene.
Didn't let me jump.
Hamilton continues to chip away at Oscar Piastri's advantage. Tap 4 tenths on the previous lap. Charles Leclerc is the next one to go over the track limits at turn 4.
Fastest man on the track in the last 2 laps, and especially that one is the fastest race, George Russell. He's beginning to really fly. He's 1 second off the lead, and he's really got a bit of clear air now, and coming quickly back towards Bottas, Stroll, and Alonso.
Yes.
And out in front, Max Verstappen at the moment, if the tyre does feel a little thin, is lapping around about a second a lap quicker than Lando Norris, and a bit more than a second and a half over Oscar Piastri. I'm not hearing this said too much more on the radio.
Swamp things, get away.
But the car only really loved that medium compound tyre this weekend, wasn't it? It was mighty on that. Not so good on the soft in qualifying, and certainly not so good on the hard compound in the race.
I think there's a long way to go in this race, to be honest.
There you go.
2 tenths quicker than the Ferraris. Yeah, let's build some pressure. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
Fernando Alonso's up for the fights.
Come on, Luigi.
Piastri goes over the track limits on his latest lap. Alonso's up for the fight. We're not even at half race distance yet. But what we've got once again is a race of strategic tyre management before the reins are let loose towards the end.
Indeed, Piastri has indeed been on the radio to say, oh, the medium compound tyres.
Surprised. Last driver to take a major podium finish in Formula 1.
There we are.
George Russell to star in the race that has no overtakes in 2022. Last one to do a proper race was Mr. Van Ocon. The Sakir Grand Prix in 2020. The last driver on the podium in their rookie season in Formula 1 was Lance Stroll in 2017. That's where in his Formula 1 career. We mentioned that because this man's teammate, Oscar Piastri, still running in 3rd place and looking good for a podium.
Not a golden flag.
We hit half race distance. Teammate Lando Norris, since the undercut was executed superbly well by him at the first round of pit stops, has managed to increase the gap to about 7 seconds now. But McLaren just can't live with the coating. This middle stint on the hard compound tyre of the Red Bull of Max Verstappen, which is marching onwards and onwards towards that inevitable 12th consecutive race win.
Now plays Luigi. Remember that.
And then with McLaren, they've got to be concerned that both Hamilton and Perez are starting to come at them rapidly. There we go.
Very nice indeed. George Russell on Valtteri Bottas. Did his best, but nothing really to fight with, considering the age of George's tyres.
I don't think the switch is charged yet.
5 laps to go now.
Okay, good.
The vertical bouncing as we went on board. Where the aerodynamics are attaching and
Well, so did Bottas.
letting go and then reattaching. And that was easy. Got to leave the car's width on the outside, and that's exactly what he did.
Sky Race Control, Anthony Davidson. So what's caution?
Well, it's interesting that Piastri's been asking him to go back onto the medium tyre, and his engineer came on and said, look, you're going to need to drive to a target lap time, whatever that target lap time is. We don't know, but he's been told to drive to a target lap time if you're going to make that strategy work. Piastri feels happy on the medium. They asked Norris what he feels happiest on. He said he's happy on the hard tyre. So, but Piastri, he's going to have his eyes on in a minute between Lewis Hamilton, that fight there, and Sergio Perez. Perez continues to catch the Mercedes driver. Lewis, meanwhile, has been told to lift and coast. Unfortunately, yeah, but at rising temperatures, so he should be, unfortunately, easy pickings for Perez.
Gap of 7 seconds. Podium's on.
Right, so that's the scenario, isn't it? Oscar Piastri will need to go, I would imagine medium tyres, he's going to need to go to round about lap 45, 46 before he can put the mediums on, Martin, and he's going to hope that Lewis Hamilton can do some defending against Sergio Perez. Lance Stroll is does so. But Hamilton is not really able to defend too much because he's having to lift off and coast into the corners that much earlier to sort the temperatures out.
Absolutely. Perez can finish second there, yeah. He carries on with the pace and the aggressive overtake.
Go.
Nobody's going to get anywhere near Verstappen out front for big
MotoGP style.
But I think the two McLarens are now beginning to look over their shoulders at Hamilton and Perez coming back.
Finished. There he is, Sergio Perez in the top two since Miami. The race started on pole, and the last time we saw this one, where it was Q3. That's the advantage.
Oh, it's off the edge.
Chipped away at by Sergio Perez in the last
It's unbelievable.
lap, about 4 seconds. Perez is gained on off the Piastri in the last 3 laps. There's only a second and a half now between Hamilton and Perez, and looking at DRS.
Don't hit myself.
Very, very swift.
And if Hamilton and Perez can keep this kind of pace up, they'll see a pit stop ahead of the Ferrari, they'll have the luxury of being able to stop.
Don't need to do it. Miss me.
Once again, really for the second race,
Get us both.
not really bigger in this one. Not helped, of course, by that near 10-second stationary stop for Charles Leclerc when something went wrong with the rear left wheel gun, and they had to swap to get to the backup. Ted, let's go out to you.
Thank you, Rocky. Yes, good recovery from Charles Leclerc, as we said after that rather drastic pit stop. I did get an answer from AlphaTauri about why Ricciardo pitted after only the 10-11 laps on the hard time. It was just the strategy, and it's
So this man's always welcome.
He's passed Logan Sargent in that strategy move. So Ricciardo now was behind Logan Sargent. They both made their second stops, and Ricciardo is now ahead of Logan Sargent in 7 seconds behind Albon, but Albon is going hard at Kevin Magnussen ahead of him, and I think Albon might be able to get Kevin Magnussen in the next lap.
Francis Toss, the AlphaTauri team boss, really expected Daniel Ricciardo to be fully up to speed on his return to his first time since Abu Dhabi last year. Until he's had about 4 or 5 races on the English race, he's a fair way behind Yuki Tsunoda, but he is a pit stop ahead of his Mercedes 31.
Yeah, it depends what everyone else is like, to be honest. The car's not bad, but they don't feel that good. I'll be honest.
So, as we
I think Norris might go for plan C.
down that lane
During the
straight,
close.
Kevin Magnussen has been passed by Alex Albon, who moves his Williams up into 15th place. What could plan C be? An earlier
Woodland Road.
to stop and keep
I went with the Yoshi bike. I don't know why.
I can only assume it's which compound you put on next. Really, a two-stopper that many marbles off the racing line. But Williams is
So that could get very slippery indeed. Those marbles on the right hand side. I know Albon has picked up a lot from that squeaky rubber. But you were shown
Get one of those things.
That's overtaken. Here's Sergio Perez right on the tail now of Lewis Hamilton. They've gone through the DRS zone on this lap, but he is under a second behind Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton has started on pole position by the time he got to turn 2 of his race, down to chapter 4. That's where he's currently sitting. Sergio Perez started his race as
Another banana. Good job. Good job against defend from the red shells.
Great effect in the last few laps. He went up to the medium compound tyre. He's running a counter strategy to the press.
I still got hit. Nice one. I may use some Mario Kart videos sometime soon.
Who has pitted, Hulkenberg is pitting it now too. As we turn our attention to the run downhill to turn 12. Is there any way
Blue shot coming.
that can try and fight against Sergio Perez down the straight? We know that the Red Bull has paced down the straight. We know the DRS advantage here is about an extra 10 miles an hour. So there's the detection points. Sergio Perez under the second margin as he goes through that detection point, and that's rear wing will open. Sergio Perez will get the benefit of that extra.
Don't think Perez will get Hamilton here. No, maybe next up.
Second, and the ball served one straight in terms of the gap between Hamilton and Perez. And now, because he's only one detection point, he's got another shorter
Massively.
straight trying get past Lewis Hamilton by the time they get into turn 2. The gap is 4 tenths of a second. So Perez needs to be probably about 7 tenths back so they can overtake with DRS next time they come around.
I used to defend me for a blue shell.
Medium compact tyre went on in lap 24. And Hamilton's hard compact tyre went on lap 16. The 8 laps around this place was a long way.
The part of the track was so difficult to follow.
Imagine Mario GP Mario Kart edition. That'll be hilarious. Imagine Marcus get hit by a blue shell.
Yeah, this sound effect cars are better at following. We saw that in 2022.
A blue shell will be very proud to orange Yamaha. First again. 16 seconds between Norris and Verstappen. See, this is why I don't bother watching now.
But nonetheless, they are better than they were pre-2022.
So is that one going at Sergio Perez, or is that one going trying to close the gap? He's about a tenth of a second, maybe 2 tenths closer to Lewis Hamilton. Now we're in the DRS zone once again. And we know that it's worth about half a second. But by the time we get into turn 1, once Perez is a little bit too far back to make a late run, maybe it's going to be a bit tougher.
Who was that? Rosalina. How about that?
Sergio Perez to get overtaken.
So it was just really on tiptoes through turn 1. He could take as much speed through there as he could.
Go for a train set on a bike.
We are discussing it. I will do it at the end. We are on it. We are on it.
Well, earlier on in this race, it looked like Carlos Sainz was holding up Charles Leclerc was holding up Sainz. Sainz on the soft.
We'll go Rosalina with banana.
Probably now Sainz holding up Charles Leclerc in the second part of the race, where had slightly faster time.
Ah, no.
So it was another strategy discussion for Ferrari between driver and driver.
Yeah, and that's the second consecutive day we had a short temper that
Blue shell, yes.
on the radio to the Ferrari team.
So Carlos Sainz stops on lap 60, Charles Leclerc stops on lap 80.
Just raced ahead.
We've got fresher tyres, just a way of trying to get the past. Sergio Perez looking around the outside this time around. Is he going to get Lewis Hamilton now? With some good traction coming out of turn 1. Hamilton pushes him as wide as he possibly can into turn 2.
Didn't let me lose the freaking shell. How about Rosalina?
But that's not going to get him anywhere.
Even,
And
yeah.
Hamilton survives for a third lap in a row.
Yeah, great car position there for Lewis Hamilton. He's got a lot less grip now, a lot less speed in his car. He's having to be a road dog as much as anything.
Lewis has got obviously the ability to press the overtake button to deploy more electrical energy from his power unit. But obviously he's not overtaking, he's defending with that. Perez, I assume that's exactly the same tools at his disposal. And if he's using electrical energy to get that much closer, can he do it for a second lap in succession?
Well,
Bang.
I guess depleting their batteries in as we test.
Don't lose it where Hamilton is.
Yeah, you can see that with Lewis's car. You can just see the car loiters on the apex, kind of suspended animation almost, while he's and
Perez in.
They're pitting Perez. So this is a move to
Big blue.
cut the Mercedes.
One of my favourites
And
is this.
also then reacts to McLaren. Piastri is in the pit tent.
Piastri comes in, McLaren have been thinking about a pit stop, seeing that Lewis Hamilton was doing a bit of a favour. It's slow for Piastri, and second or slow, he's ahead of, he's still ahead of Lorenzo. That worked just about okay. Mercedes were using it.
So 1.9 seconds. Sergio Perez. That's 9 tenths of a second faster than Oscar Piastri, and that's why they've come out so close together. Piastri and Perez. Hamilton's done a really good job there to try and defend against Sergio Perez, which would have been helping Oscar Piastri. But that work in the pit stop there has really done Perez a favour in terms of getting it that much closer to the house.
Yeah, and McLaren extremely keen to get Norris in and give him a fast stop.
Just fire and fire everywhere. Freaking Rosalina. God, Big Blue is such a good track.
comes Charles Leclerc. So Ferrari have made the decision, and Leclerc now coming in. So Travis, let's head down to you.
Yeah, so the ground looks solid, not to pick Lando Norris just yet. The Ferrari is coming in, that's cleaner, that's nice of the Ferrari. Bravo, Ferrari, that's much better. And it's Charles Leclerc out there to rescue some
There we go.
momentum this afternoon.
4 out of 4.
By Fernando
Alonso and Leclerc in.
All race
Piastri also fitted.
around the 7th, 8th position. He's in for his final stop. When's Lando going to box? Maybe the next lap.
3.3 seconds stop time.
What's better than watching a born F1 race? Playing Mario Kart. I mean, yeah, I would play on my old console, the PS5, but I think it's better to do that.
But he had George Russell catching him very quickly in Lando Alonso as they now pit Lando Norris. And this will be a key one. But Piastri tucked up behind Sainz out is Perez at the moment. So that maybe gives Norris a bit of breathing space as he pits. And it's going to be a
Norris in.
really was. It's going to be medium compound tyres going on.
Yeah, I should do some Mario Kart 80 someday.
Now, yellow stripe, you can see his teammates right behind Carlos Sainz. Still Sergio Perez is on the end of that trio as they make their way around the final corner. Some rapid pit stops today, 2.1 seconds.
2.1 from McLaren. They're doing really good into the stops.
He's got the whole of the pit straight pretty much between himself and his teammates.
Yeah, so Piastri and Perez couldn't use the undercut because they were held up behind this man, Carlos Sainz, who was just about to pit.
He has been released now, Sergio Perez and Oscar Piastri, to carry on their way. Perez is just setting the fastest lap of the race. Charles Leclerc is hurtling down the pit straight and gets ahead during the pit stops of his teammate Carlos Sainz by using.
I'll just race for a bit longer. If it's boring, I'll go back to that.
So they pitted despite it. So Leclerc was running second at 2 Ferraris, gets the first pit stop.
And this is Fernando Alonso's stop. I said it was a little bit slow. Look, they were trying to get the rear left tyre off.
I think he had a bit of clutch to engage.
Yeah.
Because the rear axle was spinning. So I think either a clutch issue or it wasn't fully disengaged with the clutch handle.
Fair play to that mechanic, putting his hand down on there and stopping the wheel that was spinning around. And you can feel that in the heat-resistant gloves that they're wearing. These tyres are very, very hot. And when they come into the pits, Verstappen continues to lead from Lewis Hamilton. 32 seconds the gap. Those two haven't pitted for a second time. Lando Norris has. He's got a decent cushion over his teammate Oscar Piastri, who can probably feel the breath of Sergio Perez breathing down his neck as they head down the straight towards turn 1. And Perez is absolutely on a mission here to try and get past Piastri. George Russell is right.
Leclerc's noted for speed at the pit lane.
And Charles Leclerc has been noted by race control.
This happened last year in Spa when he tried to get a fastest lap but failed and lost more points because of speed at the pit lane. This is why you do not speed at a pit lane. I've done that a few times on the F1 game, but I love the flashback tip.
So what does Lewis Hamilton, who started on pole position, need to rescue his Hungarian Grand Prix? Well, he needs something to happen now that causes a safety car, and that's really what Mercedes are waiting for. 29 laps on this set of hard tyres. If he pits now, when he pits up, ready?
Don't pick the pace up, don't just give the pace up twice again.
This is as fast as it goes, then.
Just sums it up, doesn't it, Crofty? That's as fast as they could go in the race pace. But yeah, it looks like they're not going to get a safety car unless something happens in the next 20 seconds. Hamilton is going to pit this lap.
Right, thank you very much indeed, Ted. Just looking, yes, they are coming out into the pit lane. And that's Mercedes garage. A well telegraphed, sir.
I wish they bought a safety car right now, so there could be a race to finish. And Verstappen passes the pit lane.
In front of him and getting ever closer from the front wing of the Red Bull. We can see that Perez has got to go around the outside here. Piastri battling away with Sergio Perez. He's going to force him as wide as he legitimately can, but Perez has better traction coming out of turn 1 and makes his way past the Australian into the McLaren.
Piastri fighting back.
He'll try and fight this and goes off into the dust through turn 2. Trying to fight it as long as he possibly could. Had to back out just a little bit as Perez got aggressive and racing once more. Moves up into 4th place.
Yeah, Perez. This is the old Sergio Perez, isn't it? The one we recognise. He's been really feisty, putting some great moves and And being agreed, he puts his elbow out and just leaves it there. As Piastri now has a warning flag on track limits.
That's really unfair, because that warning flag has come because he was going around the outside and Sergio Perez didn't give him a huge amount of room. And he's not exactly gaining an advantage here in terms of his race time or going any faster by being there. And that does seem a little too much. What's he meant to do in that situation? He meant to stay within track limits.
Yeah, but his final warning was for turn 4, not for that corner, that's turn 3. So Leclerc has a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit. So Piastri was already under investigation. It wasn't that particular moment, but yeah, Perez has very.
Did Perez push you off turn 2? Did you get her from?
It gave me much space.
Good try, and that's not going to cut the match.
By race control, the stewards are looking at it. It just means that race control has.
There's Albon 11th and Bottas 12th. Ricardo's behind him with 13th.
We'll investigate, and if we need to prosecute, as it were, we'll send that over to the stewards. So 5-second penalty for Charles Leclerc.
5-second penalty.
His teammate ahead of him, where the race to finish now. We're on board.
Not permanent, of course.
Bottas currently running in 12th place behind Alex Albon, the fringes of the points.
I think Verstappen's going to go for a soft tie once to the finish because I think he's definitely got this win at the bag. Has Supermax.
Quickly getting closed down by George Russell, and then Charles Leclerc ahead needs to pick up his pace to try and stay clear of his Ferrari teammate.
And if Lewis pitted now for the second time from second place, he would be a distant fifth.
Yeah.
He will be a distant fifth.
So this was the pit lane speed. See the lock up there, Charles Leclerc.
The 5-second penalty is.
As much as they can to try and save as much time as they possibly can. You've got to be at 80 kilometres an hour when you cross that white line.
Yeah. And again, you can't have a margin there. You're in or you're out.
That's a track limits for Oscar Piastri.
Yeah.
Which I initially thought was Sergio Perez, rather nudging him towards the edges of turn 2, because the message took a little while to update itself on the screen. No investigation necessary, fortunately, on the driver of the track.
Perez has been very useful in our time, so he would have been so many times at the end. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to manage every single person.
Drivers out there today.
There is.
Must be the heat. But,
Hamilton's in.
as Hamilton
Give Norris some free DRS.
And we'll see what that net effect has on him. But I'm pleased that there's no further action. That looked like motor racing to me. With hard motor racing from Perez and Piastri.
No further
So
action.
Norris has got a lot of clear air in front of him now. Lewis Hamilton gets dropped off the jacks and back onto the ground as Piastri makes his way through. And Mercedes should be able to pit him and back out into a nice little gap ahead of Charles Leclerc of the Ferrari, who you can just see making his way over the start-finish line to start lap 50 of 70. 20 laps to go in this race. And one driver in the points at the moment who hasn't pitted for a second time is Max Verstappen. Once again, Martin, he has got such a comfortable margin out in front. His pit crew could do the pit stop at half pace, and he'd still probably have a 10-second lead.
Yeah, he'd get out and have a dance, couldn't he? Get back in again almost. So let's see what if we're going to see a charge back through the field now from Lewis Hamilton, and the first driver who'll be under pressure will be Oscar Piastri in the McLaren, and obviously Piastri come in for the second time.
The second stop, Oscar Piastri was on lap 43.
Yeah. So, okay. So that means Lewis' tyres are about 7 laps younger then.
Worth pointing out, as Ted said this as well. Oh, box.
Box.
Max Verstappen.
Box, pick your phone, Max.
Their pace just has been a bit non-existent in this race.
Instead of F1, we got Formula Ball win. Instead of Formula 1, Formula Ball win.
Now one of the
Well, this year, yeah, well, 2022 had some brilliant races like Silverstone, Bahrain, Jeddah. What other races what races in 2022 were good? Well, I know a Singapore Grand Prix was okay, the US Grand Prix was okay too.
This weekend, despite the fact it looks like a lot of Stroll are going to both pick up points.
Yeah, the Brazilian Grand Prix was really good with Russell winning that race.
He was about to lap Lance Stroll had he not have come in for a pit stop, but 10 grand, here you go.
Well, it's the opportunity for the Red Bull mechanics to do their thing and contribute to Red Bull writing themselves into F1 history. And they've done it brilliantly, Crofty. Yeah, it's just a few more laps now for Max Verstappen. As I say, Red Bull can write themselves into F1 history. If they win this race, that means it's 12 in a row. It's never been done before, Crofty. I know we've said it. I know you've said it. I've said it. Simon said it. Everybody said it. But that will be history, and the mechanics played their part just there.
We'll talk to Christian Horner in a moment. Now that the pit stops are out of the way, seems like an opportune time. Obviously, we don't want to jinx anything. Often Martin Brundle and myself say something from the commentary box, and apparently we put a curse on people. That doesn't happen. The drivers of the cars don't listen to us whilst the race is on. But I think now is the time, Martin, to start talking about this 12 in a row. Equaling McLaren's 11 in a row at the start of the season, but adding Abu Dhabi last year into the equation is the history-making machine, isn't it?
It's mighty, and I'm pleased to be witnessing it. It's a supreme effort. These cars are so complex and so fast, so powerful, and to keep getting them to the end of the Grand Prix, pointing in the right direction with four wheels on board, ahead of all the other brilliant teams, is quite something.
Alfa Romeo and Valtteri Bottas were hoping for points today. At the moment, Joe Guanyu started 5th, is running 17th, Bottas is running 12th. But I wonder, Bottas might put himself up to 11th at the end of this particular straight. Is he going to dive down the inside? He's going to have a little look. He's a few meters short. He almost goes into the crash structure of the Williams. He was that close under braking. He just had to back out of the that corner. And Albon had to find another day in 11th place. And whilst a lot of people will say Adrian Newey designs, he's the inspiration, the genius behind what happens at Red Bull, it is very much a team thing. Adrian, is there in his role, Martin, but he is contributing along with a lot of very talented people to the success of Milton Keynes.
Absolutely. I don't like that graphic above the cars and the highlights of the wheels. It annoys me. I want to see the car on the track. How do you feel about it?
I think it's nice to know the speed that the cars are doing sometimes. It does make that Williams look rather like a stock car, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you.
Well, now it's Albon and he's going quite quickly, but not quite as quickly as we are in the car behind.
Could get all graphics, I wish they put it in miles an hour, but I am aware that in other parts of the world, miles an hour is not used.
Furlongs.
Poor Fest.
So Verstappen then is about to smash fastest lap of the race, that currently held by George Russell in a 22.3. And what's it going to be? 21s? It's a little faster than that. 20.5.
Wow.
Well, yeah, that's probably fastest lap. Points to bed, I think, in this race. And Red Bull will have to.
Let's not put on says softs at the end.
Down the checkered flag. I mean, obviously, he wants to win. Obviously, he's very keen, but obviously, those comforts. Nice Sunday afternoon. He's in his familiar place, out in front, by a fair margin, on his way to a second consecutive victory. No one's troubling him today.
Norris is behind Joe Guanyu at the moment, about to lap him, but he just lost a second to Perez. Other than that, and prior to that, Norris is doing a great job of holding Perez and keeping his hands on that second place trophy for now. But suddenly the gap's come down a second, and Piastri is only now 4.6 seconds ahead of Hamilton. He's going to be under pressure there with Lewis Hamilton coming at him.
He's still behind Joe Guanyu. It's Lando Norris. Blue flags are being waved for Joe Guanyu. Perez has taken another 4 tenths to the first sector on this latest lap.
Norris is through now.
Excellent. The lap of fourth, Oscar Piastri, striking distance for Lewis Hamilton is going to be in the next 3 laps. Piastri struggling a bit with his lap times this year. I'm just looking He's not really had to be battling through back markers, so I wonder if his pace is for pace struggles for a different reason. Bottas once again trying to overtake Alex Albon. Nothing doing there whatsoever. Close battles at the moment. This is pretty much it, to be honest. Before Hamilton gets close to Piastri, as we're expecting. The gap between Perez and Norris is now down to 6.5 seconds. So it's another 8 tenths. Perez has gone faster than Norris on this latest lap. Now, that was a lot to do with getting past Joe Ryan. But Sergio Perez has got to do that himself. We'll keep an eye on that. Norris is in clean air and Perez is not exactly right up to the back of the other Alfa Romeo. Say other because we're still watching Valtteri Bottas, his teammate behind Alex Albon.
And Hamilton now just 2.9 seconds and 1.6 that lap out of Piastri.
There are so many problems in the offline, it's crazy. It takes like a whole lap to get the problem.
Understood.
It's not a lot of fun because a whole lap later you're back in turn 1.
Yeah, quite. And he's not exactly overtaking people, Max Verstappen, but he is making his way to the likes of Hulkenberg, Sargent, and Sonoda. The back markers, they're obliged, as the regulation states, to move out of the way. But there you can see those marbles into turn 1. Not exactly helping the overtaking here. And neither of them, today, Martin, is the direction of the wind. We've had a tailwind into turn 1, all the way down the main straight. A headwind, I think, might have made DRS a little bit unpowerful for it.
Yeah.
I agree with you. So, Bottas, Albon, as you say, the best fight on the track at the moment. And I think Lewis
Left to Perez, 6.6. Yeah, I don't, I'm pushing, mate.
you're kind of damned, as the engineer, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, aren't you? It's like, why didn't you tell me? He was casually. But I understand it. It's like double frustration. You know you're being caught by a Red Bull, and then somebody comes on the radio to confirm. Would you just pull your finger out a little bit, please?
One thing I do to make a race more interesting is put sprinklers out. That's what I'll do.
3 seconds. Currently, Perez is now right behind Joe Ryan. With the blue flags have been waved at him once more for where Joe Ryan goes in turn 9 and could move over to currently. But whilst Lando Norris, slight agitation in his voice, Oscar Piastri pushing but not having enough at his disposal to stop the advances of Lewis Hamilton here. Hamilton has had a disappointing race, has to be said, but in these closing stages, the Mercedes, as the fuel burns down and it gets lighter, starting to come alive once again. 4th place is there for Lewis Hamilton, you feel, the next time we go into turn 1.
Yeah, Lewis, fastest man on the track last time around, in the low 22s, and catching the McLaren Honda always.
So here we go then, the gap not very much whatsoever between Hamilton and Piastri, only 0.4 of a second, another 10 miles an hour advantage with the DRS for Lewis Hamilton. Which way is he going to go? Down the inside, there's a lot of marbles there, stopping the car, not easy for Lewis Hamilton, it makes it look like child's play, quite frankly.
Hamilton and Piastri.
Takes in his time, gets the benefit of DRS to pull ahead from Oscar Piastri, and is back up into 4th place on lap 57, where he ended lap 1.
And he's 10 seconds behind Sergio Perez. So it's not out of the question that Lewis can keep his car in the low 122s.
Let's have a little look again.
Yeah, yes, he didn't really fight that one too much. He moved across the track quite aggressively when he was fighting with Perez earlier on, but left the line a bit full of marbles for Hamilton. But he was being caught so quickly that really there was nothing to do, or nothing he should do about that.
Max Verstappen, race leader. I know it sounds like a repeat, but I promise you it's live sports. The race leader who won in Miami, Monaco, Spain, Canada, Austria, and Silverstone in a few laps' time adds a 7th successive one into the win column. The man who has not finished below 2nd place in any of the Grand Prix this season is on for yet another victory.
So the clears 5-second penalty at the moment would cost him nothing, which is 5.6 seconds clear of his teammate Carlos Sainz. But another difficult day for Ferrari, 6th and 7th, but over 40 seconds off the pace of the leader.
George Russell, who started 18th in this race, Martin, now less than 2 seconds behind Carlos Sainz, who didn't have, of course, the slow pit stop to try and contend with. It's been a fair drive from George Russell to make up all those places.
It has. He bided his time early on, and he's quietly done a very good job.
Ferrari will be smashing their heads, wondering where their pace has gone, and hoping that this time next week in Spa, it'll improve somewhat for a team who have now gone over a year since their last victory in Formula One. It's Red Bull taking the victories currently. Max Verstappen leading this race has won at Silverstone. His 23rd since the start of last year, and that already, even with half a season to go this year, is the most wins ever for a single driver across the space of the span of 2 seasons.
Pretty untroubled out front, hasn't it? McLaren have put up a valiant fight, and I think they'll be more looking in their mirrors than looking ahead. As Verstappen really quite untroubled out there, having done that fastest lap on the 20.5 seconds back, 2 seconds of that.
Please, something
We're watching
happen.
Lando Norris here, Martin. I think there's a tricky lap coming Lando Norris's way. There's Sergio Perez chasing him and gaining on him. And Norris is approaching, there you go, Yuki Tsunoda. And just in front of Yuki Tsunoda is Logan Sargent. Just in front of him is Nico Hülkenberg. There's basically 3 back markers he needs to try and get past as quickly as he possibly can. And then hope that Sergio Perez gets held up just a little bit.
Yeah, Perez got a great chance of second place there in the closing stages. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 back markers coming up in the next 4 corners as he catches them individually for Lando Norris.
He'll take the pain at this moment in time and then hope that he gets a little reward to go back again. When Perez joins those back markers, but 2.5 seconds he's gained in the last 5 laps on Lando Norris.
They have to get out of the way, said some people in France. Stop racing races.
Well, they're not battling wheel to wheel, that's for sure. But down in 16th is that's where Lando Norris was racing in the early part of this season, remember? All the way back to the likes of Bahrain, where he finished 17th, Jeddah, when he finished 17th, Miami, when he finished 17th. Very different McLaren car, but he's got at his disposal now, though.
Yeah, it looks like a car that might have a good chance for podium every race for the rest of the year. We'll see who develops. We've got a lot of teams starting to close off the development in the second half of the year, getting ready for next year's car. But
we're seeing the arms race, aren't we? We're seeing what others have brought to the party in terms of upgrades. I think we're seeing that restriction in wind tunnel time start to take effect.
I thought it was Gasly for me as Ricardo.
Yeah, absolutely. Good enough.
What we are still seeing is Red Bull striding out in front.
Yeah, so Norris has cleared Tsunoda, he's still got Sargent and Hülkenberg now about to be on his nose. But at least he's got 1 back marker between him and Sergio Perez.
So lap 61 of 17, near 22nd lead for Max Verstappen. The attention very much on his teammate Sergio Perez, who has Yuki Tsunoda between himself and Lando Norris, and Norris has still got Logan Sargent and Nico Hülkenberg ahead of him. Back markers that Lando would like to see move out of the way an awful lot quicker. Normally, we're about 2 seconds, 2 and a bit seconds in front of the car that's about to lap them. The drivers are showing the blue flags.
Everything okay? Just check it in.
Yeah, all good. Probably thinking where he's going to go on holiday at the end of the Belgian Grand Prix this time next week. Do I cruise around there? Do I private holiday to the States? Do I fancy Suffolk? I'm told it's very nice at this time of year, Ted.
It is, yes. Look forward to going there myself. Got to get Scotland first. So, first of all, Crofty, have you been keeping an eye, because I have, on the Charles Leclerc 5-second penalty trap? And
well, at the moment, he's got 2 tenths, hasn't he? on his
On
team.
Carlos
So there's an advantage, yeah.
Are you smelling a bit of team play there? That they're telling
Probably.
Sainz not to get within. I mean, it doesn't make any difference to the team. They're still going to, Ferrari is still going to score as many points, aren't they? If it's Leclerc, Sainz to Sainz, Leclerc. What I think they have to be careful of is giving any time to Russell. And that's Russell on the charge on the medium tyre to try and drop some, pick up some pieces after the Leclerc penalty is added on to the end of the race. Just a quick one on Alex Albon and Valtteri Bottas. This has been a sort of stint-long battle. Bottas has been pressuring Albon, but we're seeing another one, maybe not cited, because it's for P11. And Lance Stroll is the last points paying position at the moment in P10. But Bottas can't seem to get past Alex Albon. Albon doing another great defensive drive.
Yeah, he certainly is. With every race, Alex Albon seems to improve his standing, isn't he? He's truly developing into a fine driver that Williams are very pleased to have on their books. There's Logan Sargent, the other Williams, between Norris and Perez, the gap around about 3.6 seconds. Wouldn't say time is running out, but Perez does need to start to close that gap a little bit more, get past these back markers sharpish.
Indeed. Daniel Ricciardo started 13th, fell to 18th in the first corner incident, and back up to 13th. A pretty solid day. I bet he's beginning to hurt. Everything doing a race distance around here. We've still got 46 degrees out on the track.
Yeah, it's been a hot one for the drivers, with little time to rest during the course of this race. Such is the nature.
Just Formula A, this boy Max Sker waiting 7 in a row. It's good by Vettel's record. Freaking know it.
Would dearly love to make this a Red Bull 1.
Didn't want Vettel's record to be
On the
broke.
day that Red Bull can make Formula 1 history for the longest winning streak consecutively for a team.
Well, if Red Bull are good, with Max Sker break this record, Red Bull go win every race this year. There's going to be check away in Spa.
But he's got to
Guaranteed to lose position if we do that.
He's ball behind both Aston Martins should he decide to do that.
probably get Stroll back again.
Yeah.
But maybe not Fernando Alonso. Looking at the timings, but as he's struggling a bit on those tyres, that will be very good news to both Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. Sainz was coming under pressure a little bit, and Leclerc, who's got to try and keep 5 seconds between himself and his teammate Perez, currently has the driver of the day votes. And that man there probably has dad of the day votes from his son, who seems to be enjoying himself rather a lot, and why not?
In this phase, you'd have to say Norris is now doing enough to keep second place. Perez's charge has sort of ground out a little bit.
He's never taken consecutive podiums in his Formula One career, has Lando Norris. He's looking a good bet as it stands. Even lap and back markers seems problematic here this year. George Russell was thinking about pitting. Do I get the feeling that was a bit of a bluff, potential double bluff coming from George Russell? Because as you can see, there was a Ferrari of Carlos Sainz right in front of him, and Russell's pace in the last couple of laps has really picked up.
Yeah.
And
I think Russell's going to get
Sainz.
Sainz and then go to Leclerc as well.
3 really strong laps in. He might be able to pass Leclerc with his 5-second penalty.
Fourth, to be honest. Sick of these boring races. We've had every single race since Melbourne's been boring. And even watch Melbourne.
Still time for Russell to make Ferrari's day.
It's like every time it's a good race, I miss it.
Dare say it needs an overtake at the end of the next
Actually, now I'll probably play Mario Kart tomorrow.
The
video, guys, if you want Mario Kart 8 Deluxe videos as well.
Falling asleep, but just give you a few things to think about in these closing stages. Gained 1.1 seconds over the past 3 laps since he was thinking about boxing again, George Russell, hitting once more. And he is right on the tail here.
He's taking a wide line, I think, to get out of the slipstream of the Ferrari. It's really working for him.
That was brilliant. Out of the
Brilliant tactic from George.
George Russell.
Go on, George.
The
P7.
not even halfway done by the time he's got past Carlos Sainz. He's up in the 7th place. It's like a slingshot out of that final turn.
Come on, Georgie boy. penalty in the metal, you could take 6th place yet with Leclerc's 5-second penalty to be added on. Or did Leclerc take that at pit stop?
5 to go.
I said this about 10 laps ago, Martin. Now the fuel's burned out, the Mercedes just comes alive in it.
Yeah, so it was quite interesting. Both turns 13 and 14, George ran what looked like intentionally wide, and that meant he wasn't in the turbulent air of the Ferrari. He was picking up grip.
Well, George Russell on the charge then, and already quicker than Charles Leclerc by about 4/10 in the first part of this lap. Lewis Hamilton, meanwhile, has just put in a 1:22.6. He's only 4/10 on Max Verstappen on that last lap. He might just be cruising and taking it easily, a bit more easily. What he has done is just gone 1.3 seconds faster than Oscar Piastri. So he streaks ahead of him, and Sergio Perez too. Piastri and Perez were lapping pretty much the same. Perez has got through the back markers now, just Hulkenberg between Perez and Hamilton. But Lewis Hamilton yet to finish on a podium on a race that he started on pole.
I think Russell Group will be net less than 5 seconds behind Leclerc at the end of this lap.
This race has suddenly energised Martin with about 4 laps to go here, and Lewis Hamilton and George Russell are providing a lot of the energy.
Right.
Here we are.
Fuel, isn't it? Whatever.
Wish it was a thriller again like 2021.
Conditions, both Mercedes absolutely come alive in the closing stages.
Sergio Perez might have thought he was in a comfortable position looking behind him. At one stage, he was thinking about trying to get past Lando Norris. I think all hope of that has gone now, and he might just have to watch out for what's happening behind. Lewis Hamilton crosses the line, the gap 3.2 seconds. We're on lap 67 of 70, and Hamilton was fast enough there to repeat that a couple of times and maybe make a move on the final lap.
Yeah, it tends to be down into turn 1, doesn't it? Where you've got your best chance, at least with the penultimate lap, really. If you're going to have a chance to overtake around here, and Leclerc 4.5 seconds ahead.
3.2 the gap between Hamilton and Perez.
Norris, Perez, the top.
Russell's going to get 7th here.
Will there be a change, I wonder, between now and the checkered flag?
Max engine to blow up.
Well, there'll be a change somewhere, I think, but we just don't know which way it is. But honestly, I've been studying Lando Norris and Sergio Perez's lap times. What a great job Norris has done. Just has completely nullified the charge of Sergio Perez, stopped it in its tracks at P3 on the podium, and I think Perez has just given up on it now. He's just going to get home, knowing that he's got the podium, because Lando is actually now lapping quicker than Checo Perez. Maybe Perez's tyres are done. Lando's tyres are a couple of laps younger, but anyway, a great drive from Lando Norris. Further down the field, George Russell is now within the 5-second time penalty box, as I like to call it, the penalty box for Leclerc. So Russell has done the job. Whether Sainz was backing Russell up, hoping to make it not so much of a penalty for Ferrari, they couldn't make it work. Russell gained a place. It carries on the way it is. See, it told me something would happen to us down here.
Yeah, and while you've been saying that, another lap has been completed. Lewis Hamilton now 2.4 seconds behind Sergio Perez. No back markers in the way, nothing to get involved in this particular squabble. There it is. Perez through turn 4, Hamilton through turn 4. Hamilton looks like he's on a qualifying lap. Sergio Perez a little more sedate.
Yeah, smells blood, doesn't he, Lewis, there, in terms of a potential podium still.
Come on, Lewis.
Well, that'd be quite something, wouldn't it? Where Perez's pace is.
Nice P2 again, but that's good for Brits.
He's just got through the first sector, and we have got a personal best in the first sector for Sergio Perez. There's a double yellow flag's been waved.
Oh.
Logan Sargent Williams has stopped. He might have had a bit of a spin through the chicane he's got going again. So that's not going to interfere with any potential battles between now and the end of the race. And look, the gap now under 2 seconds. Certainly Hamilton has got the charge on right now. There's Perez as he crosses the line. The gap 1.7 seconds between him and Lewis Hamilton. Dare say Hamilton could do with one extra lap here, but you never know. This is what happens to Logan Sargent.
That's back end, wouldn't live with him.
Spin for Sargent. Not really going to do anything.
She goes. Yeah, so Hamilton's medium compound tyres went on lap 49, quite late in the race, of course, if you remember when he pitted. And Perez, his hard compounds went on lap 42.
Logan Sargent pitting after that spin. Not surprised by that. To the first sector once again. Sergio Perez a little bit quicker than Lewis Hamilton. Just by a tenth of a
So
second.
just go attack the car.
Part of the lap where Hamilton's had all the pace advantage over that particular Red Bull. Max Verstappen has started his final lap of the race. Logan Sargent is out of this race and has been retired. There goes Lando Norris. Here comes Sergio Perez. Right behind him, Lewis Hamilton. This is going to be nip and tuck and provide us with the nearest thing to a thrilling outcome of what has been once again, Martin Brundle, another very comfortable afternoon indeed from Max Verstappen. Half a lap to go before a record is broken.
Yeah, they put on the some aero updates. It looked like they were struggling a bit. Christian Horner said to us on commentary earlier on in the race, we compromised our car a bit in qualifying for the race. And you have to say, it's been a mighty race car, hasn't it, today? And he's going to win by well over $500,000.
It is going to be a 250th podium for the Red Bull team. It's going to be career number 44 win for Max Verstappen as he got past car number 44 that started on pole position on the front row alongside him. It is going to be a 7th consecutive win for Max Verstappen.
Am I getting bored of this? 7 in a row for Max. 9 wins this year.
To make it 7 in a row. But crucially, history is made at the Hungaroring for Red Bull as they win their 12th consecutive race. Max Verstappen wins the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Nice P2 though.
Broken, tumbling, and Red Bull are there to celebrate. Max Verstappen wins here. Behind him, and for the first time in his Formula One career, Lando Norris is going to bag consecutive podium visits. He equaled his career best results at Silverstone last time out. He's got another second place in the bag. Well done, Lando Norris and McLaren. Another trip to the podium as they
Lando.
runners up. And on the day they break the record that McLaren held since 1988. Red Bull do have 2 cars on the podium. Sergio Perez holds off Lewis Hamilton by a second and a half to take 3rd place, with Hamilton 4th and Oscar Piastri coming home to finish 5th. But behind that, what's happening to George Russell? He's been gaining on Charles Leclerc. He's going to overtake Charles Leclerc with the 5-second penalty for the Monegasque driver. Tried to do it on the road as well. Leclerc crosses the line in 6th, Russell 7th. But Russell will inherit 6th place because of that 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Carlos Sainz crosses the line, and I think we'll have 8th place. Yeah, that's right.
Everyone's finished.
For Aston Martin, 9th and 10th only for them. And Alex Albon, sadly for him, finishing just outside of the points.
Not a bad race car, is it?
Nah, ain't.
Well done, mate. That is.
It's sparse. Someone needs to do something to that car.
And that is history. That is absolute history today. That's a fantastic performance.
What an unbelievable rocket ship that was today.
Yeah, that car's a rocket ship. Not illegal, but a rocket ship.
Unbelievable. I think everyone can be really proud of that achievement today. That's unbelievable. Thank you. Hey, this is so incredible to drive. Unbelievable. I was really enjoying that last stint.
I'm not surprised.
Anyway, guys, that'll be it though. Max Verstappen wins 7 in a row. Red Bull break for record McLaren held since 1988. Lando's happy with that. Good one, Lando. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Smash that like button. Subscribe if anyone is new. It's turn if you signed in. And turn the notification bell. Next live reaction is next week at the Belgian Grand Prix if I feel like doing it. Anyway, guys, see you next time. Goodbye. Have a good day as well.